have 3 weeks on him.
Okay, that is granted. 3 weeks on Blake Ritchie for an announcement. Tyrese Simon.
He's a sentencing, Your Honor.
Tyrese Simon, please. Thank you. And then I think there's one more, Mitchell Sylvester.
He wants to be set on the child docket, Judge.
Okay, we'll bring him. Now we can call 23 CR 1657, the state of Texas versus Tyrese Simon. That's you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Present with Ms. Manalvi, your attorney and the state's attorney. Does the defendant waive earlier in this case, you were charged by an indictment handed up by the grand jury on October 11th, 2023. It's over a year and a half ago. Charging you with the second degree felony of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And then you entered a plea of guilty March 17th of this year. And the agreement stated that whatever sentence shall not exceed a cap of 10 years in prison. A pre-sentence report has been prepared in this case. Have the parties had an opportunity to review it?
Yes, Judge.
And are there any corrections or changes to it?
Not to my knowledge, Judge.
Yes, and there are no changes, Judge.
All right, then it will be made a part of the record for all purposes without changes. The agreement, what was the date that this was? Let me take
I
please.
believe you said it.
March 17th.
It might be in
I
my,
don't think so.
hold on, it might be in my retrieve. Let me look.
It's not, yeah, March 17th is not a date that I'm showing.
It's in my retrieve.
I don't know what that means.
It-
Retrieve,
Yeah,
that's to get something back.
It's also a
You're
pretty
going,
dog,
you know,
actually.
like a retriever,
Yes, sir.
a golden retriever. Chesapeake Bay.
Well, I have them in my retrieve where
It's a good dog, Judge.
They're good dogs, smart dogs.
it'll actually be under February 24th.
So then, what we were looking at looks like two options.
Yes, Judge.
Second degree felony, aggravated assault, no less than 2, nor more than 10 years confinement in prison. It would have been up to 20, is 2 to 20 is the punishment range for a second degree felon, but your attorney was able to limit the exposure to a maximum of 10 years, but it's 2 to 10 years in prison. Also, you could be placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation, actually, which could be up to 10 years in length, where you would not be found guilty. It would be a form of probation. Regular probation is a third option under law, but it is not, you're not eligible for it whenever a deadly weapon is used in the commission of an offense. Then a court cannot, the judge cannot grant regular probation. So a pre-sentence report has been prepared. There are no objections to it.
Correct.
And it is made a part of the record for all purposes. All right, Ms. Manalvi, on behalf of the defense, you may argue on his behalf.
Yes, Judge. Obviously, we have an option that we are advocating for today. We would request that he be put on deferred or unadjudicated probation for this offense. As you'll note in the pre-sentence report that you have in front of you, and that's been made a part of the record, he has no felon convictions or really any felony issues that he's been charged with as an adult. He has a support system on his behalf, and I do have 2 letters from his family members if you would like to read over those as well. But he has 2 people in the audience here that are supporting him today. He has the support system at home. He has an uncle who's willing to help him find a job and kind of get away from the lifestyle that he was wrapped up in down here. At least through my conversations that I have had with Tyree in the jail, and since all of this has happened, he has grown very aware of real consequences and real adult consequences, especially since being in the jail. He has expressed a desire to change and rehabilitate and be a law-abiding citizen and a productive member of society. So given that he does have no felony convictions yet, and he has not had a real opportunity at probation, I think that he has spent a lot of time in jail awaiting this point that has given him a different outlook on life. And then from there, he knows what he needs to do to be successful on probation, and he should be given an opportunity to be successful on that probation.
Okay. I abstain.
Your Honor, this is the 8th individual out of 10 or 11 that are going to be coming before you about this fact pattern. You have previously sentenced the 7 before. Each have made similar arguments like what was done here. Some were actually situated a little bit better than Mr. Simon as far as the fact pattern is concerned. Each of those individuals received pen time. 2 of them were on probation at the time, and after motions to revoke probation, either hearings or not, one was sentenced to 20 years. That was Mr. Michael Williams. Jalen Foxall was sentenced to 15 years. You've sentenced Beatty to 10, the 2 Petrie brothers to 10 years, Charles Johnson to 8 years, and Deion Brooks to 8 years. I read nothing in this report that suggests that Mr. Simon should be treated any differently. The video you've seen on multiple of those sentencings is that if you, I need to know if you recall it. If not, I'd like to play it for you.
No, I remember it, but I want
The
to look
specifics,
at him.
the specifics about Mr. Simon is the PSI, which is not objected to, tells from the police version that he was striking Mr. Jefferson with a closed fist while carrying a handgun. He is not accepting responsibility fully today. He denies having a weapon. Now, I think that's probably because some of the other defendants that were sentenced were able to get less than 10 years. They got 8 years. And I think factually how that played out is they were not in possession of a weapon. They all collectively acted as a mob in assaulting Mr. Jefferson in one of the more disrespectful acts that we've seen in court as far as the video is concerned. And I know you've got other colorful ways to explain it, but the amount of lawlessness that occurs here at 3:30 in the morning in our county is really it's disappointing at best.
Normal people are asleep or at work.
So, Judge, I'll need to make arrangements to get that video ready for you. I had hopes that you would recall it, but we can do that, Judge. I just need to make arrangements to do that.
I'll see what this says. I just want
Sir,
to confirm it with the video. I
Yes,
know
sir.
what this says in the pre-sentence report, which says he admitted involvement in the altercation, but claims other subjects were the ones in possession of firearms, not him. However, where does it show? I'm going to get this. Mr. Simon, according to probation, was wearing a white t-shirt and green shorts, was striking Jefferson with a closed fist while carrying a handgun.
if you'll give me a few moments, Judge, I know I've got some trial copies of, because we have two defendants that are set for trial. I've got some trial copies of those videos upstairs, and I can get it shown
Before
to you.
you leave, is there anything you want to say? Uh, Mr. Simon, this is your time, your life.
Yeah, so I just want to say that these 11 months I've been having time to think about it. I just been running through my mind every day about the bad decision I made.
What was your bad choices?
First being there and then second is striking, just involving myself in the situation.
Were you or were you not carrying a firearm?
No, sir.
Okay. We'll see what the video shows. But this states that you pleaded guilty to striking the victim about the head and the body with your hands and feet. And this states you used and or exhibited a deadly weapon, namely a firearm, during the commission of the assault. I'm going to remind you, you pleaded guilty to that under oath. Did you lie
No, sir.
to me? You must, because these are the elements of the crime. That's what you pleaded guilty to. And here this states, we went over this. There's your signature right there. This states, I am mentally competent to enter my guilty plea. It's freely and voluntarily made. I have read the charging instrument, the indictment. My attorney has explained it to me. I committed each and every element alleged. I give up my rights to pre-sentence report. I am guilty of the offense and any lesser included offenses. I swear all of this is true. So help me God. Let me repeat once again. You swear all of this is true. So help me God. I've read the indictment. My attorney has explained it to me. I committed each and every element alleged. One of these elements that you admitted is you did then and there use or exhibit a deadly weapon, namely a firearm, during the commission of the offense. Did you just lie to me?
Sir.
That's what you're doing. You said you committed every element. She went over, she's a good lawyer. She goes over these things with you. One of the elements is you used a firearm during the commission of the offense. Not saying that you even struck or stuck it in the face of somebody or shot it, but when you're brandishing a gun and somebody sees it, they're defensive. They're helpless. But this is what it said you did. You used or exhibited a deadly weapon. But you're saying I didn't even have one. Now, to me, which meant you must have lied when you signed this oath, which is perjurious. You commit perjury if you swear to something that's not true. We went over and we go over this real simple. I go over it with you and you sign everything, and we do it as a great precaution so that people don't plead guilty to things that they're confused about or untrue or that are untrue. But we rely on this, the truth, and you swore to it. But now you're saying you didn't have a firearm. Shame on you one way or the other. Shame on you. You're caught in a box now, buddy. I don't like what has just happened. When you plead guilty and you're throwing yourself to the mercy of the court, you fess up to everything that's true. But you don't lie about it in an oath, which you may have done. Because now you're saying, I didn't have a gun, but that's what this sworn. I'm showing what you signed. There it is. That's your signature under oath, buddy. I committed each and every element, and that's one of the elements. You either used or exhibited, showed a firearm, which causes people to be in fear, and then they're submissive. That's what happened. Apparently, in this case, looks like you were part of the beating, and people were beating the poor guy. almost to death. But using firearms, I mean, people are submissive and they can't compete with a firearm. But you're saying you didn't have it, but you admitted it back on the date you signed this, and we went over it. And I swear all of this is true, so help me God. What's your final answer? Or do I need to see the video? Did you have a gun with you or not? Okay, let me see the video.
Okay,
And
Judge.
then we're gonna have to, he's admitting he doesn't have a gun or exhibited it, which means we're not taking the deal. He'll go in front of a jury. And let me see that video.
Give me 5 minutes and we'll get it. I'll go upstairs.
You don't have a deal with me, buddy. And juries can't give probation for. Oh, they can give probation for deadly weapon. That they can. But they don't. But I'm not taking a deal when the truth is what's important. You can't play games, but I will ask the district attorney to look into perjury, a perjury charge for this. Because you're not going to mislead me by swearing under oath that you committed all the elements of the crime when you didn't. And it's a felony offense to commit perjury. You don't want to carry that around the rest of your life. You're tabbed as a professional liar. But
Judge,
these are all choices that everybody gets to make. And you either make the right choice or the wrong choice. And you live by it, the right choice or the wrong choice.
Judge, if I may, I do believe we're dealing with the law of parties issue here, where all of the defendants were charged with an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And if another party had exhibited a deadly weapon, which is my understanding that one of them did, he would also be responsible.
A party
for
too.
that. Yes. So while he may not have had a weapon on himself, he is still able to plead guilty and be guilty of that offense because of the elements of the law.
He would have to have known other people had the weapon and used it and took part in the assault.
Yes, Judge, and I believe that will be exhibited
Some
in video.
somehow assisted them in the commission of the offense. That right? Should have run like the wind away from that. Should have never been, you should have never been a part of this. You should have gotten away from it as fast as possible. What is he's looking for the extent of the injuries of the victim? Does anybody know?
I do not, Judge. This might be a better question for Mr. Mann.
He was listed in critical condition, according to the reports. Does anybody have a difference? It means he almost died. Really? There's 9 of you ganged up on it? 9?
Sure.
You see anything wrong with that?
Lot.
And this is all at 3:30 in the morning?
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Nothing good happens at that time unless you're working. So you were 17 when this happened?
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
7 on October, you turned 18 2 months later?
Yes, sir.
That's all I would say. We'll take a look at the video on this in a minute.
Do you want to finish out the rest of the cases while we're waiting on that
What do
video?
we have?
my God. So that.
Just have a seat right over there, sir. And get that. Mitchell Sylvester.
Yeah.
That be it?
Yes, that would be it.
Mitchell Sylvester. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here's David Grove's cases from the other day on Katie Knight.
It's right, it's right.
It's right, then he could be here at one.
Okay, it was David's, now it's Rife's. Okay, they'll be here at one, okay. All right, let's, first of all, where is the defendant in this? Do we?
I'm gonna. As I was getting this copy, Judge, I was able to determine that I'm gonna play that and identify, stop and identify.
Thank you.
Since I'm doing that, Your Honor, I'm gonna go ahead and mark this exhibit as State's Exhibit 2, since the plea is State's Exhibit 1.
All right, any objection? Without objection, it is so marked. Thank you.
So if you'll give me a little latitude, Judge, I'm gonna play this and then pause it. By way of comment, he is supposed to be wearing a white shirt, green shorts.
If we can,
This here is, where the pointer is, that's Mr. Jefferson.
who is the victim here?
I believe that this is Mr. Simon right here,
Where?
right here where my pointer.
I'm sorry, I don't see the point. Okay, all right,
I'm gonna back.
His
it up,
back to
guys.
us?
See his
Yes.
face?
okay.
See the face there?
Mm-hmm.
That is Mr. Simon. When the car moves away, you're gonna see that he's wearing the green shorts as described in the PSI. I'm gonna pause it where it's clear that the gun is in his left hand. When the car moves at this stage, Judge, and if you pay attention, this is Mr. Simon here, where the pointer is. See you got already? I
There-
stopped it.
There's
I'm gonna
something
point you to,
left hand.
you see the gun in his left hand. He's holding it down as the car is moving away. The assault is about to occur.
Okay, good. Bring that back to the punching, please, if you.
Yes, sir. And sticks that gun in his shorts right there. And delivers by my count at least 6 hits on the victim.
So okay, we'll bring it back, right where he's in front of, in the foreground of the camera. Stop.
Where do you want
As
it?
he's walking right around the right fender. Stop. Okay.
See how he's holding his hand? Like he's dealing with the gun there in his pocket. Have you seen enough, Your Honor, or do you want to see more?
I want to go back to the beginning of this assault, please.
Where, do you want the portion where we see the gun in his hand?
Yeah, the beginning and
Yes, sir.
how
Or the car moves.
Mhm. At the point where the car is moving.
You wanna do the VLC and zoom in?
No.
Yeah, can you zoom? Do you have the ability to zoom?
I do whenever I ask for help.
No, thanks. You have everything to lose by misstating the facts. Everything to lose when we find, especially when we learn from the video here that that was wrong, flat wrong. So when it states your version, I did not have a weapon, but other people did have guns, that was wrong. You looked me right in the eye and lied to me. And That's not the way to handle it. And we don't have to be up here showing you that you're not telling the truth for you to tell me the truth. You need to be honest from the beginning of this. What this is multi-level state of problems in this town, in this county, that is struggling with misbehavior, with the 16th highest crime rate in the state. There's nothing that we're proud about, and the people who are trying to be proud in the city and do the right things are having to deal with irresponsible behavior. This is occurring at a public place, a grocery store, at 3:30 in the morning. Everybody needs to be in bed or working, not messing around in a congregation of folks and then assaulting. And it was y'all attacked the guy like a pack of wolves. It's like a pack of wolves. And then anyone who has a firearm, anyone who is displaying or exhibiting a firearm is only going to throw gas on the fire. Because somebody sees this, it's when you pull it out, you're using it. And you're either going to use it for the wrong reason, or someone's going to shoot you. But when you pull out a weapon, the people are submissive and you have the power over them, which you're not supposed to have. That's not the right thing. And then y'all all pounced on the victim, and there's no way he can defend himself. It's just not fair. It's just not fair. It's like playing on a basketball court and the other team shows up with 20 players and you're stuck with 5. It's not right. It's not fair. That's why sports, which emulates real life, good lessons with rules of behavior, are followed. And when you don't follow the rules, then you get it's a foul and you get punished. And same is in real life here. There are too many aggravating factors here that all add up to problems. But when you are rightfully accused, you don't lie like you did. Others have been forthcoming. And it's not as though you haven't had problems in the past. I mean, I'm looking at putting the city ordinance in the runaway. They've got evading arrest out of Harris County that was dealt with through the court. Unauthorized use of a motor vehicle that was, I think, dealt with in this county under juvenile matters. And then evading arrest with a motor vehicle. The point is, juveniles, people make mistakes. When you're young, you're supposed to learn from these mistakes and do better. And then after all of those situations that you had with court authorities, then on October 1st of 2023, after all of that, mistakes have consequences and you were dealt with them. And the right thing would, of course, learn from those mistakes. But here we are at 3:30 in the morning and you're displaying a gun. And whether you fire the gun or not, it emboldens the person carrying the weapon, and it is not fair to others or being subject to the misuse of the weapon, like the victim in this case. They do not have their rights anymore because they are submissive, thinking they're about to lose their life, which is what happens when you brandish a gun. People are going to assume that death is a clock's tick away, and you're not supposed to have that power over other people. But all that being said, with all of those priors, then you get here and you lie. And we have to see the video. I wish you would have handled this a lot better and more honestly. Anything else to add? If not, I'm going to find you have pleaded guilty in this case, Mr. Simon, voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently. There was sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted here in this earlier plea hearing to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Before I move forward here, is there anything else you would like to add?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Apologize for lying and possibly saying that I didn't have a weapon. Just I was misunderstood it. What did I use it? I have it. That's all.
You told the probation officer, I did not have a weapon, but other people had guns. They don't lie. They wrote down exactly what you told me. And that's what you told me. We had to prove otherwise. Anything else?
Sure.
I hereby find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this second-degree felony of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I'm following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 10 years. The judgment shall reflect an affirmative finding that a deadly weapon, namely a firearm, was used or exhibited in the commission of this offense. Do you understand what has happened today, sir? You will be given credit for all time you have served. Anything else?
No, sir.
That is all. I am really disappointed that this one worked out this way. I thought that you were going to handle this a lot better. That is all. We are in recess. Thank you.